We're going to look under the hood first and work our way around to the other side. And there are a few key points I need to show you under there that's on the Mercedes side. But for any reason that you may need in there, there's some things that you need to see and know. Push this up, and we got a hood. They've changed the design on these bad boys. Right there. Okay. You got your intake filter over here. Oil goes here. Dipstick is right down there. That's where that is. And the other key points that are up here, if it should ever need a jump off, you always jump them from out here. This is your positive pole. Give it a little twist and push. Your ground pole is right here. I know it's dark in here. You'll also see on your air ride suspension in here, you've got front and rear air right over here, and that is from right and left side. That's if you have to manually air it up, which you shouldn't have to. It's all automatic and it's already preset. So then we'll work our way on around. DEF goes in here. That's something that you've got, like there's a little gauge that'll pop up when it starts to get low. It's on the dash. It'll tell you to add DEF fluid. It's a diesel additive.
Customer service have called in on line.
The passenger seat. This here is probably for the jacks here. Yeah, that's what that is. And it's the manual or the auto to raise this thing up and down. And usually that would come right out. There it goes. You take it out and you can carry it around with you like so. You can do all your stuff from here in your hydraulics. There's more manuals on this. You'll be getting those as well. That goes off by itself. Then we have entry door here, which is an auto door. Button right here. You press it, it will close the door automatically and latch it tight.
Customer service have called in on line 2. Customer service.
Step also goes in. To open it, all you do is pull it once. It'll do the job. Don't try to help it or anything like that. We're in good shape. Always let the door close with this screen in the back position. Now, having said that, if you're traveling, once the door is closed, you can bring the screen up and latch it in place so it doesn't move on you when you're going down the highway. Moving along. You got plug-ins out here for outdoor TV and a coax and a GFI here. You got propane, that's where your propane will go in. Got a toggle switch over there before you can use a generator, furnace, hot water heater, anything like that. You got to have that switch on. We've topped this off so it's full, and basically that's it. That's a barbecue. You've got a hose back there that you can bring it out here, and you can hook up a barbecue pit to it and cook out. But that's where you would fill the service end of it. Rear doors, they do open all the way. These will only go about halfway here and stop. Both of them will do this. Keep you in there. There we go. Keeps you all wide open. Whole lot of space in here for storage and so on. You got this little rack here. It used to be in some of the vans you'd have to take this out and you got pillows that come down. This one doesn't have them, doesn't need them for this deal here. There are hooks for this blind. They got hides right here. Hooks on each side. Not much there to say. Okay, there we go there. It's kind of clean back there. This is your propane hose that'll be coming with it right here. few other little goodies. These are all quick connect. Got a ratchet and an extension in there if you need it. That is a GFI tester and volt tester for your outlets. If you want to test if you're coming up against a problem and you're at a park and you think, man, nothing's coming on, well, you can stick that in one of the outlets and it'll tell you whether you got something coming on or you got power coming into the coach. This, we'll take this on around with us. I can show you, this is your outdoor shower stuff. Now we get to the good side, all the good stuff. This is where your shore power will hook up to. Goes in and it twists like that. Not much, but get that little twist in there. That's a lock. Generator exhaust. This is the exhaust for the water heater. This is your city inlet. That just comes off. City water hose will go right there and gives you your city water pressure in there. In the event that you're not using city water, you would have to use the pump inside, which I'll show you when we get in there how to do that. If you're using the city water, you don't need the pump. Should have had all this already open. Save a little time. We're buzzing right on by out here pretty quick. We open all of these up. All right, first and foremost, this is where this goes. This is just your hot and cold running water outside. It helps you to clean up out here. You know, you just turn it on hot and cold, and you can clean up your hands, your feet, your area, your macerator system, everything. Gravity fill for the tank is right here. You just stick a garden hose in it from your house or wherever, or from the campsite if you're leaving, to fill your tank up. If it runs over, it just comes right back out here. You got an overflow there, but water hose will probably outrun that. This is the macerator. Just pull it out. This part here goes down into the sewer or septic, wherever. The valve, this is open. And let's see, that's closed. Always park it in the closed position. You've got some goodies in here that'll help you adapt to every campsite is different. We've got these here that go down in there like that. That helps you. We got bigger ones. These here just come right off. Slide right out of there. That comes off. These are just to kind of help you with all different types that are out there. Of course, any campsite you go to, they've got their own way of selling stuff. So, but anyway, we'll drop this off in there. You'll open up the black valve, which is here. You'll see the light come on. That means I opened the door on it, but I got to hold that down to open it all the way. Now I'll close it. Gray is the same way. This won't allow you to do them both at the same time either. You just got to do one at a time. Macerator pump is right here. Notice I've got this off. I'll switch it on right there. Got a service light out here in the bay. Gives you a little light everywhere. This is where your coax cable, park cable, goes into. And you got the little door here where you can keep it closed. And then when you're done in there, again, you're going to close this off. And then you're going to turn off your light, and then you're going to run this hose back in. Just press that button, feeds it back in. Like so. Now then, if you'll see right down in here, I've already put that back in there. This hose in right here is a black tank flush. The only time that you'll ever use that is like if you're getting some odor up inside, or you want to clean it every time you leave. What you're going to do is you're going to hook a garden hose, get you an old dirty green garden hose to use for this. Don't use your drinking hose. And hook it up, turn on the water, open the black valve, open this valve, turn on the macerator while that water is running. Never close any of these things up when that water hose is running. It'll fill the black tank up, swell it, and bust it. So you got to be very careful there. It probably gives you step by step in your other tapes that we're going to be giving you on that particular area. And this is your furnace outlet exhaust. Nothing to be done there. And then coming right on along, you got more fuses here. These fuses in this particular area right here are mainly from the cab forward, like under the seats. These two down here are for the airbags in the back. If anything should ever go wrong, or you can check those fuses there to see if everything's going to run or if they're blown out. And there we go. Put that back down later. I guess now we'll move inside a little bit. See what we can find in there. Okay, you want in first, or okay? Okay, step it up inside. You're going to see all these monitors are throughout the coach. I think there's about 4 or 5 of them in here. These things will go to sleep. They'll turn off. All you do is just touch them. They'll come back on. This is your 12-volt disconnect switch. If I hit that right now, everything goes out. And this is a step hold switch. That's so that when the door closes, the step will stay out. And then we got, each one of these has just got different things on them. It's page 1 and page 2 for this particular one. It's got your tank monitors at the top, master lighting on and off. And then you've got your low beams, dummy that dims the lights. Cinema dims them even down lower, throws all the shades down. And then we got the temperature here in the house and whatever your AC is running, which we don't have the AC on at this point. Overhead lighting, master lighting again, or you can do individual ones right here. Anything that's highlighted in blue is already on. It's your patio light, undercarriage, and your awning light. And then we go right here. AGS, this is your generator start and stop. All you got to do right now, AGS is activated. Looks like, no, well, it's disabled right now. That's for you to set up if you wish to have it. You press and I believe we're going to have to hold start. But again, LP's got to be turned on, which I believe it was. So we won't run it too long to find out. And then we go, this is your air conditioning. You just hit the auto climate right there. And this is your up and down. Just hit the arrows. This tiny number here moves. Takes a little bit for it to come on. They do have a time delay on them. They got a time delay on them. So it'll take a little bit. Once you hit that, once you see it green, that means that you've asked for it to work, and it's going to here in just a few seconds or minutes. And then you got your vent fans control. Just those that are right up there. Yeah, and that thing will raises the lid. If you accidentally leave them open or anything and you're away or anything like that, they've got rain sensors on them, and they will shut as soon as it starts raining. Okay, and we got a master shades down here. You can hit the master shades, taking all of them down at one time. You can see them all back there coming down. They'll do the same thing on going up and roadside. And your front and rear shades, they'll do the same thing. Just hitting the masters and they'll all go back up. And every one of these panels that you're seeing in here has got the same exact stuff on it. And you just scroll around to it till it gets there, and there comes our AC. I'll shut that off because it's kind of noisy. I'm trying to speak over it. You can lower speeds down on these, but anytime that you're running this thing, you really need to have it in the auto position, because if you put it in low and high, chances are the furnace is going to try to come on at the same time. Not the flame of the furnace, but the air. The air will blow on it. And if this is not in auto. Okay, we'll go back to house. Again, this here's your awning. You're pressing it, one button and let it go, it will come on out. And then of course we go, I guess I could take it on out, huh? Because we got all the lights in the all on, the awning lights did come on. Once you hit, if you're going to park this thing and you forget to turn them off, once you come out of it and park it, you're going to hit the disconnect switch, and that's going to kill everything out there. And we just hit retract on that. Also has a wind sensor on it. If you're away and it's out and it goes to bopping a lot, it will come on in. It's up a little too high, or I would demonstrate that, but I usually have a hook I grab on the end and just move it up and down to make sure that the wind sensor is working, and it'll take off and come back in. Okay. Now then, we'll walk on back here a little bit. You've got a refrigerator here on top and a freezer here on bottom with the pull out, which is very, very good. These refrigerators, we've got a lot of room in there. This one here, we've got these turned off so that there's your freezer controller over there, refrigerator controller over here. They do have travel locks on them. That's what these clips are for. They both have one. That way they can't fly open in transit. Okay. Now we have water right here. It's got a little bit of water in it. And let me explain about the water heater on this thing. When you turn on the water heater, you're going to have to, the only time that it's going to get hot for you is when you're calling for hot. Hot is straight up, and it'll go right there. Let me see if I can get a pump here to turn on. Water pump switch is right there. It'll turn blue. Once that's happened, our water pressure will come up. Get all the air out of it. It might be too low on water. They didn't give me enough water in there, so we'll turn that pump back off. And you got your tank heaters also up here. Like I say, it's on all these other controllers. It's got about the same thing on it that this one here does. This here's your chassis, the green down here. The chassis tells you chassis voltage and your house voltage. Hopefully they're both about the same. Should stay about the same. Generator start and stop. And you got a water heater right there, which is gas, and a tank heater. So when you're going to use your water heater, you'll hit that. Once you ask for hot water, you'll hear it run back there then. Be the only time it'll run is when you're asking on demand. And you got rear screen. That's that rear screen in the back. There's your awning extend. There's your cinema and your dim and low lights. And master lighting on and off. Freshwater tanks empty, gray's empty, black empty. The LPG is full. It'll always show a tab down a little bit because it can only go 85% full. This is your solar panel. Anytime you're plugged in on the solar panel, it's already going to show 100%. When you unplug, you might see that drop down to about 80 or 90. And it'll work its way back up to 100. This here is a power controller shows we got 30 amps coming in. If I want to scroll, it tells me I'm okay for powered for AC. Microwave is powered. I got 4 amps right now showing that's being used in here, and then back to 30. And the Magnum, press that one time, tells me it's doing a 14.2 absorption charge, which means the batteries are plenty full enough, and it should start going into a well, it'll stay there for a little while. Now, shouldn't really need to go into the menus or anything like that, but in the event that you ever do, it just shows you right there that you've got 30 amp coming in. Search is off. We don't ever want to have search on. 200 amp hours, AGM1. You're at 50% charge rate, which is good on new batteries. As time goes on, we may up that to 80. But that's if you start having, so you got a cutout of 11 volts at 100% on back drop. Power save is on, which is good. Equalizer, never want to equalize. Then we're back up to absorption. This is your save button. If you ever go in here and need to change anything, save button there after you change it. Press this button here again, it'll bring on your inverter. See if it'll do it while I'm plugged in. But we'll have to unplug. Used to, it would come on, but that green light up here would be invert and it would come on. Charger standby. So what I actually did is I turned off that charger, hit it again so it'll go into absorption. Okay. Down below here, this all is set up, geared up for a DVD player. You got HDMIs. You got cable coming down in here. This is a jumper, so it'll go to both TVs. And basically that's about it up here in this cabinet. These TVs, they do, ripcord does, you pull it down, swing the TV out, because these chairs here will recline and go back. Oh yeah, here's another important thing right down there. This is for your rear airbags. By looking at this, get some light down here. Here we go. These two heads, 1 and 2, these are your memory 1, memory 2. That arrow there just brings the air down, up. This will light up when the key's turned on to tell you that we're airing up the back. I don't believe you have them on the front. The wrench is a service. And this here is also telling you, hey, I want to do it in the rear. Air the rears up only. If this quotation, if this lights up and stays on, there's a problem. Second one. And that's pretty basically, they kind of changed it up since the older ones. But really, you should never have to touch this. Once you get in, crank it up, it's going to automatically do it. But I do need to say you're somewhere and you need to let the air out so you can get under something. You're going to press that right there. It's going to dump all your air. You're going to do your business. You manually have to press that one time to go back up, and it'll go back to its right height. And then it'll go back to auto as well. It's very important that you do that. If you manually change it, you got to manually put it back. I know I'm going kind of fast, but here's your stove. It's also LP. To light it, press and hold. It'll light up, and you can let it go. Same with this one. Put it on the light, press and hold, and it'll light right up. Never close the glass down on it till these things are cooled off enough. Now we've got a convection here. Also has a travel lock right here. It also has a button there to open it, and it has one to close it. And of course, you can read up on the book to whatever you're cooking. It'll do it for you. I don't know how far this will open. Bathroom's kind of self-explanatory. You've got the shower head there. It pulls out, goes to the top hook up there, and you can take a shower inside here. This probably has a curtain down that way, I believe, that they go across, so that water don't get just solely on the door. You're going to get water on it, but it's not going to hurt it. It's supposed to be pretty tight. All right. The couch lets down into a bed, and so does this. Controls for that's up at the entry door, and we'll do that on the way out. You have some stuff here. These are your blackout blinds for up front. Let's go across the windshield, and you got all kinds of goodies, I think, hidden all over this thing. So we'll go back up there to the entry door, and I'll show you these Jackknife seats. They used to be Jackknife all manual. Now they don't. Oops, up here. These two outer buttons here, those are for the side seats, side benches. You'll see them moving. Right there, they'll both move. They'll come out, they'll meet, and stop. The center one is for the back seat. It'll lay down flat. That's going to be your bed, like so. You take them back up. Those armrest cushions, they'll slide back and forth. Probably not even fall off sometimes, but they just slide right down in there. Okay. All right. And I think there's not, well, we got some dash stuff here. This is the good part. Alrighty. A lot of it, you got a lot of controls up on the steering wheel. Now, if you've ever had a push button, you've got to hold your foot on the brake to get it to start. Once it starts, you let your foot off. Warning light here that's going to flash because I got every door in this thing open, and it's going to tell me up here it doesn't want me to move or do anything yet. And dash radio right there with all the camera work to it. Looks like you got bird's eye view for this thing. And we'll go from side to side all the way to the back. Look all over. There you go. And radio. Oop, there it goes. Very touchy. You got your tuner right here. Changes things back around. Volume stick is here, which gets very, very loud. Or you can use push buttons, you know, tell it everything you want to do. This thing even talks to you, tells you what's going to happen here on your skids. And go back to the all kinds of little goodies. There we go. And a little bit lower down we have the air conditioner. We've got auto mode. You can set the temperature to whatever you want. Put it in auto mode. It'll raise it up and down where you want it. And then you got, it's going to circulate, and your defrosts. Lower the fan speed. This button right here, the red one, shows your side door over there. You press it, it'll close. So you never even have to get up, and it'll open back up when you get to where you're going. And you also got a rear view camera up here, as well as showing you down here. That's so you're backing up, and your turn signals, I believe, are on there. Yeah, they are. Okay. Yeah. Then it'll go back to the back automatically. All your dome lighting up here, just follow the buttons. It'll tell you whatever you need to know there to turn on lights. Steering wheel is loaded with all kinds of stuff. You got the volume, you got Bluetooth, you can answer the telephone here, you can turn the volume down on the radio, or you can turn the volume up. And then you can change. This, all you got to do is just barely touch it with your thumb. It's kind of infrared. Cruise control is sitting over here. When you're on and off up here, comes on, tells me. Okay. Horn, wipers over here. And you got your high beams are right here. Your headlight switches over here in auto position, or you can put it over in manual, whichever you prefer. Got pedals back here that help change radio around. Over here on my bottom left, you're going to see a button that says battery assist. Very important to remember that. That's if you're out somewhere and you're trying to start this thing and it don't want to start. You can press and hold that, then hit your starter button to get yourself started, or hold it down and have someone start the generator. That'll put power back in to get you going. That way all that does is that couples all the batteries together, the house and chassis all together. That'll give you power. Keys, they have to be nearby the ignition, pretty close, either in your pocket or right up here or even up here, and they'll start. You have 4 keys, and you have keys to the compartments outside that I opened over here on the wet bay area. And you got 4 of the push buttons. To kill the engine, don't touch a brake. Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute, here we go. This is your gear, your transmission. Down, it's going to put you into drive. All the way up, it's going to put you in reverse. And press the center button, it's going to park us. Then we can let off the brake. Once you've done that, just touch the button one time and it kills the engine. The only way that thing's going to start is if you put your foot on the brake, hit it one time and it'll start. I believe that's, of course, all the controls on the doors are pretty self-explanatory. These chairs do swing. They got a knob back here in the back that you'll pull one way. They'll come all the way around and face that way. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to call me. My name is Joe Johnson. I'm the Master Certified Tech down here. And they'll call me to the phone if you need me.
Thanks for watching our video. Be sure to drop a comment below if you have any questions or if there's any content you'd like to see. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks again from Airstream with DFW.